Here you will find travel content where I'm gonna share with you my travel stories, travel tips, and show you as much as possible beautiful places around our incredible world. In this video, I wanna share with you my first travel trip to South America and volunteer experience there. This all started from Egypt, where I lived 4.5 months, and one day I was just sitting there and thinking where I was going next and how I was going to make it as cheap as possible. And one day I came up with a great idea, and since that moment on, I started looking for volunteering programs all around the world. Worldpackers, one of the most popular sites of volunteer programs. It is a platform that connects travelers around the world to local hosts who have a specific task or work they need to help accomplish. In addition to your experience, you usually get free accommodation, meals, and sometimes other bonuses exchange for your help. In this program, you can find lots of different destinations all around the world. Since high school, my dream was to go on a trip to South America. And without thinking twice, I started looking for programs in this part of the world. Among all South American countries, the cheapest and easiest to get were Brazil and Argentina. And actually, that simplified my choice, and I immediately began to apply in these countries. And literally within 4 or 5 days, my application was approved and my joy was no limit. Brazil was the first Latin American country who accepted this gringo. And after, it was time to make my first flight overseas. My journey consisted of 2 flights to get to my final destination. First, I had a flight from Hurghada to Istanbul, where I had a stopover, and the next day I already had a flight from Istanbul directly to São Paulo. It was my longest flight trip ever, which lasted 14 hours. And finally I arrived in my first and the biggest South American country. Beautiful and sunny Brazil. And for my initial trip to Brazil, I chose neither Rio nor São Paulo, which are the most biggest and famous cities in the country. My first of 26 states of Brazil was Minas Gerais. It is the 4th state by area and the 2nd largest population, bordering the Bahia, Goiás, Mato Grosso do Sul, São Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, and Espírito Santo states. And moreover, I started my journey not from the capital of Minas Gerais, which is Belo Horizonte, but from a very small and not famous city of 5,000 people, the city of Luminarias. In this video, I want to show you this unreal place where I spent 2.5 amazing months. The place surrounded by many waterfalls, amazing landscapes, and charming sunsets. I share with you my first experience with Worldpackers in Pousada Serra da Luz. Vamos! Luminarias is located 40 kilometers from the nearest major city of Lavras, and the Pousada Serra da Luz is located 3 kilometers from the center of Luminarias in a very quiet and calm place, surrounded by the extraordinary beauty of nature. The point of my volunteering was teaching English during weekdays and also work at the bar on weekends and sometimes to help with other chores. But as it turned out, when other volunteers knew that I'm from Russia, they were interested to know some Russian words and know a bit more about my country. So I also became Russian teacher, and it was a nice experience. During the lessons we had a lot of fun. The guys were shocked that Russian language is completely different and it doesn't look like their languages at all. And the most difficult thing for them, of course, was pronunciation. But nevertheless, I handled to teach them some important Russian words. Also, we had German, Spanish and French lessons, because there were other volunteers from these and other countries. This was an amazing experience to teach others and at the same time learn from others. We had a lot of conversation on completely different topics and all the guys who were interested to talk with. My volunteer schedule consisted of 25 hours per week, where I taught English and Russian and worked in a bar the rest of the time. The working schedule at the bar depended on the number of guests who usually come on weekends to relax, spend time with their family, enjoy the beauty of nature, and visit amazing waterfalls. At the bar, I work as a bartender and waiter at the same time, and it was also a nice experience because I have learned how to make cocktails that were new to me and could practice my Portuguese in real conversation with guests. When I arrived in Brazil, I only knew how to say oi, ciao, obrigado, sim now, and some famous Brazilian football players. So I started learning Portuguese right in Pousada. These were my tasks in Pausada, and in return, I got my own chalet, 3 meals a day, which is incredibly delicious. And to sum up, I can say overall, I really like Brazilian cuisine. And I also can help but tell you more about the Pousada and about the owner of this wonderful place. On the territory of the Pousada, there are 20 guest houses called chalet. The owner of Pousada, Ailson, who is a very creative person, started the project of this place 25 years ago, when the whole area was surrounded by a forest, and notice the beauty he managed to create. This man, besides creating this masterpiece himself, he's also an amazing artist, and all the paintings and forgeries that are in the rooms are made by his hands. Every weekend, guests come here not only from Minas Gerais, but also from Rio and São Paulo, which are more than 300 kilometers from the main areas to spend 2 or 3 nights. Enjoy the time spending with nature and take a break from the city's hustle and bustle. And this is no doubt an amazing place to spend weekends, sleep in the fresh air, and of course visit waterfalls, hills, and meet unforgettable sunsets and enjoy the stars in the night.
my first YouTube video, my first country in South America, my first volunteer experience, and the beginning of my journey. With Worldpackers, I got an unforgettable experience, got a huge knowledge of the history of Brazil, learned more about their culture. As a bartender, I learned how to prepare the most famous Brazilian alcoholic cocktail called caipirinha, met many interesting people from around the world, and knew more about their countries. And also I started learning Portuguese and Spanish, which in my opinion are the most beautiful languages in the world. And when it was the time to leave Pousada, I felt really sad because during that time I was really used to the guys, the people who work there, and Ailson's family of course, who was incredibly warm to me and treated me like a family. And it was really nice to know that I have my Brazilian family whose doors are always open to me. And I also want to thank everyone who I met on my way. The same travelers, guys with backpacks, who wants to explore our stunningly beautiful world and enjoy every moment. After all, thanks to travel, we get an unforgettable experience, learn new places, languages, meet new interesting people, and see the world with our own eyes. Just travel, guys. It is worth it.
If you like the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Have a nice day and see you in my next video.